Alright, hello everyone, this is Selkek, also known as Paulaelia, and welcome back to the Garry's mod. I almost said the Zary's mod for some reason there. And we are going to build something today. I teleported at the spawn room into this building here, structure in the corner of the map. And I noticed that there's a helipad up here. So I think building a helipad might be an interesting idea. I also noticed that this bridge has a button for it, and it seems to retract. That's pretty cool. Boop. I was hoping this bridge would like lift up, but apparently it's a retracting bridge. So whatever. Oh no! Oof. Okay. I noticed that a lot of the ledges and this building are like just high enough that you can't jump. You have to crouch jump. It's kind of annoying. But then again, I have parkour mod installed, so I can just run up walls and whatnot should I want to, like that. Anyway, the parkour, the free running mod is pretty awesome. If you don't know how it works, you hold shift, and like if you walk in something that's like waist height, you automatically jump up. If you hold shift, what is it? I forget the. How do you get it to go? You can if you hold like sideways, sprint and jump while against a wall, you can like run up the wall, and you can hold shift to grab ledges and things. It's all just like if you're sprinting, you do mirror's edge things. But there's a helipad, so we gotta build a helicopter, and we have to build a cool helicopter. And I'm going to challenge myself to build a helicopter using only construction and comic props. I'm not going to use any of the fancy builder props or anything. In fact, I'm going to close all of these. I'm only going to use construction and comic props. I can use obviously seats and wire mod and all of that sort of thing, but the actual body of the machine has to be made out of these sorts of props. So I don't want it to be too big because I want it to fit on a well, that just doesn't do anything. I want it to be able to fit on here, so like this shipping container is like the maximum size I would ever want my helicopter to be. So if I were to grab the open-ended container like this is a pretty dang big helicopter. I don't know why I said pretty dang big. Not usually part of my vocabulary. But something like this, can I sit in this? Something like this, we put a seat inside there. That could be kind of cute. Here's a bigger cart. Oh. Well, that's not nice. We don't want it to do that when we get in it. And so there's a lot of interesting parts. Like this could very easily, if you flip the magnet upside down, that could very easily be where the helicopter rotor blades are, etc. So let me just take a quick look here at what we got. And the comic props, obviously, you can use to kind of decorate things. Like you might want to put a monitor on your helicopter, or use this for something. I don't know. Have a screen if you wanted to make a giant helicopter, a helichopter. I think I want to avoid the bathtub because the bathtub is a pretty standard Garry's mod building thing because you can sit in it. Let's see. What was I thinking? Was it this that you could? No, you can't sit in that one. Well, you can if you make a mess with things. But what was I looking at? I don't remember now. I think I wanted to try this out. Yeah. I'm gonna use this as the main bucket of my helicopter. It's pretty light, so it's not gonna be the whole helichopter. And I'm gonna use these double stack ovens, as landing feet for the helichopter. The helicopter helicopter. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. And we're going to assemble this via eyeballing. We're going to not use the precision tools or anything like that. We're gonna build an old-fashioned Garry's Mod machine. And I just kind of want to get a general gist of that. That looks pretty dang good, so I'm just going to weld tool. Do that. So now that, and then I jump up, and I can get in my little bucket. There, that's perfect. Okay, now I want to put a seat in before I get any further. So I need to know exactly where I'm going to be. And obviously, I'm going to be using a big comfy chair. Because why would you ever not want to sit in a big comfy chair in your private helicopter? So that's a good view. That's a good view. That's good. That's good. We'll just weld that in place. No precision tools. Nothing. None of that shenanigans going on here. Actually, I did, thinking back, talking to myself, kind of in third person, I did like this idea. It's comically oversized for what I'm building, but that's okay. Nothing wrong with being comically oversized. And I do want it to be kind of middle-ish. Middle-ish. Over that. But I need to figure out a way to make it look attached. So there needs to be some part of my helichopper that extends upwards. And I want to make sure that if I'm sitting here, yeah, that's good. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. So let's move that up a bit more. And let's make sure that's centered. Oop. Okay, I still want to be able to get out. So that's good. Let's do that. That looks a bit more centered. Okay. So I think this cabinet is going to be good if I do like this on the back. Something like that. And then like attach this to the cabinet, maybe? Am I stuck in the crane or am I stuck in the cabinet? Let's move the crane out of the way. Nope, missed. Oop, oop, oh. Well, I jumped all the way up that way. Okay. And get out. Yeah, okay. So it still puts me out on that. If I do this and kind of press that up against that, and I'm sitting here. Okay. So it's not going to be easy to get in and out of my helichopper. My helichopper. My helichopper. I'm going to no collide tool. Well, first let me do this. Weld, weld. Then I want to no collide and no collide. And then I want to do like this. So that it's like become one. And then I want to no collide and no collide and become one like this. Okie dokie. Weld, 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 weld. There we go. So if I look at this and unfreeze the whole thing. Oof. Okay. Let's take a look at a weight tool here. Currently that weighs a whole lot. What if I did this? Is that... Oh, I'm not pushing the right button. I'm like, why can't I flip this up? Alright, let's weight tool all of those. Because we kind of want our, the helicopter to have its center of weight be at the bottom. So that it always lands kind of uprightish. I am going to change this, however, oh my gosh, to be 100 instead of 8, because 8's just a little cheaty, in my personal opinion. So this should be, it should have a bit more, ooh, flop to it. Let me no collide and no collide all of these. Ooh, okay. So what if I do, I think my issue here is if I do weld, weld, and weld, and weld, that's much more stable. Much more stable. Just add more welds to make things more stable. That's how we're going to do things around here. Now then, we need to assemble our helicopter blade rotors. Our rotors are going to be driven, but they're most likely not going to be what's providing thrust. So let's see here. I mean, a good thing to use would be something like this sign. It's relatively flat, but compared to our surface up here, you can see they're not going to stick out super far. So then we also have things like this bench that has no back. Could be used if you do something like this, and that's actually pretty decent. So what I'm going to do is, in wire, I'm going to wire up a physics motor. Is that what I want to do? Or do I want to wire up a physics wheel? I think I want to do a physics wheel. And I'm going to choose the clock, because the clock is a good shape. And I'm going to put the wheel on. And then I'm going to get 4 of those benches. And I'm going to weld the benches onto the clock, because that's how we roll here in Helicopter Town. I don't know where I was going with that. So like this, roughly even. As I said, you know, there's no aerodynamics or anything in this physics engine. I'm not using the wing tool or anything like that that tries to add a simulated physics engine for flight. I mean, this is not Kerbal Space Program or anything, so the rotation in this is just not so great. Okay. Whoa! I was holding shift when I tried to move. Okay, so then something like this. I want to try and move all of my things to the outside edge. Tools, weld. And weld them to the wheel and to each other. So if I release all 4 and release the wheel, they should spin. Just like that. Now, let's see about wiring up their movement. So if I do a pod controller, and we'll just put the pod controller up here, and we'll link it to this chair. That will give us something to go off of. We can now wire the go to W and the brake to S. And if, you know, if there's, it's spinnable. If I sit in the chair and I hold control, I can kind of see them. We can rev up the spins, and we can hold brake. Brake doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot. It also seems to be spinning in what I would consider to be the backwards direction for a helicopter. But that's okay. Now let's see here. If I unfreeze the whole thing and just hold spin, we're having some issues. Alright, we've come to a stop. Are those benches super heavy? With the weight tool, we can check. Yes, they're 125 each. I'm going to make them just 25 each for the sakes of our aerodynamics. And nope. Come on, upright and stay upright. Alright, make that weigh 25 as well. Oh, is the clock? Does the clock have weight? Oh, the clock has a lot of weight. There we go. So, there we go. That's good. If I revert all those to their original weights, because we do want the blades to have an impact on us when we make them spin. So we'll get them up to speed, or we'll try to anyway. Now that the weight of the clock is down, I don't think that the blades are going to spin that easily. So I can come in with the wheel tool again, and you can up the torque of the wheel tool to be 10,000 from 3,000, and we can try again, holding down W. And we're getting a bit of gyroscopic motion, but that's okay. Choo 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 choo. You know, I think I might just have the blades spinning at all times. That might be pretty fun, to just have this thing go all the time. So I believe somewhere in here there is constant value, and it's going to have the number of, not Q1, but 1. And I'll plop down the constant value, and I will remove brake and wire go to the constant value. Go, constant value of 1. Okay, so now that should just always be spinning as much as it can. So we need some upward lift. Now, it's not a helicopter if it doesn't go up, obviously. So I'm going to freeze the wheel. It's going to halt all progress on it. But I want to put the upward lift, stupidly, on the on these things. So I'm going to have their sound be steam low, and I'll have the force be, I think, let's try 1500. Because there are going to be 4 of them. And once again, I'm not hitting the precision tool. I forgot, and I used Smart Snap when I placed that engine down, but I'm not using it for these. You can see I'm not snapping to the grid. I'm using the grid to line up as best I can, because this is really a tricky thing. The aerodynamics, that is. And I'm going to have this be on space. So space bar will engage my up. My hops. My mad jumps are on space bar. Okay. Let's unfreeze the clock. We'll let it rev back up. Okay. We'll jump in our seat here, and we will... Ooh! Oof. We fell. Okay. So we were not stable once we were given flight. Ouch. Hit myself in the face with a helicopter. And it seems to be something to do with our gyroscopic motion. So I'm going to return to the weight tool, and I'm going to zap some some of those guys. There we go. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to get rid of that top weight I had, but let's try this. We seem a bit more stable. Now, as soon as we get in the air, we're instantly off kilter. Probably from this excessive weight here in the back. So I'm gonna make this way 1 for all intents and purposes, and hopefully that will keep us a bit more Oop. Yeah, we're a bit tipsy. Okay. So I need to move back to the helipad. Okay. So we need some tip control. That's what I've discovered. We need tip control. So wire thrusters, and I'm gonna have their force just be 250 because don't need it to have lots of force. I'm gonna put it. Oh gosh, the whole thing is shaking. Hit click, and roughly in line with the center there. Click. Roughly in line with the center here. Click. And then center here. Click. Okay. Whew. Okay, so this will be tilt backwards, so that is S. This will be tilt forwards, that's W. This will be tilt left, so that's A, and this is tilt right, and that's D. So combined, we should have up, and we should have 4 directions of tilting. Oof. Okay, we crashed. We crashed hardcore. So the 250 thrust, not enough to achieve any sort of noticeable tilting. So we're gonna up the thrust a bit, just a bit, from 250 to 750. And hopefully this increase in thrust will give us the increase in control we so desire. I've grabbed it instead of getting in the seat. What's going on here? Is it because I've given that back thing no weight that front that thruster is just off the charts crazy? I believe so. So I will revert that to its original weight. Oh no, I mean it needs to be 100. Derp, not its original weight. Jesus. Weight of 100. Okay. Get in the seat. Left, right, forward. Okay, so I think what our problem is that those thrusters are all aligned basically in my middle of what mass. Like roughly where the middle of the helichopper weight is. So A, not only is that bad because I don't want my middle of mass to be so gosh dang high. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase these bottom 2 sets of things to be 800. I'm going to see if that then makes a difference. Ugh. Yeah, the 750 thrusters don't do anything, really. So once again, gonna increase their thrust. Let's try 1500. We'll just completely double, not motor, thruster. Jeez. Actually, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna go back to 750 thruster, and I'm going to quickly though use the remover tool and remove these thrusters and put them in a better place. They're going to a better place in society. Mainly the top. Since the top is where all the magic happens, the top is where they shall be. So provided that they line up properly. Boosh. Where would that go? That's not at all where I needed to put it. Boosh. And then boosh. And then boosh. Actually, the second one is completely wrong. Put that there. And then put this one there. And then put this one there. Now let's try wiring them up again. This is tilt to the right, so that's D. This is tilt to the left, so that's A. This is tilt forward, so that's W. And this is tilt back, so this is S. Okay, let's try this. Yeah, I can already tell this is much more responsive controls. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. You know what might make this easier? Third person. Flying in first person is notoriously difficult because everything around you goes crazy. So I'm going to come way back here. And I'm going to use the camera tool. Camera tool. Numpad 5, okay. Click that there. Weld camera to this. Weld camera to that. And then camera is going to have weight of 1 and is going to no collide with anything. Or no collide. Yeah, no collide with anything, collide with nothing. So get in, push 5. And here we go. Oh my gosh. Oh, I leveled out. I did it. Oh my gosh. So difficult. I'm trying to land over here on the dirt. I did it! Oh my gosh, guys. I actually built a somewhat passable helichopper, even if this thing is impossible to fly because it is gyrating at all times. Yeah, so maybe putting the thrusters someplace else would have been a better idea. Ooh, so close to crashing to the water there. I don't care because this is fun. I have no sense of how high I am at any given point. It is extremely difficult to tell when I'm going to hit the bottom of anything. It is actually physically impossible to hover because at all times I am spinning in a circle. I think I'm just doing loop-de-loops now. Oop, and hit the ground. Gush. Oof. But this is a heck of a lot of fun to fly around. Maybe in the future could wire up some way of rotating it so that I'm not doing this all the time. Oh, we're in the water. We are underwater. We're out of water. I don't think helicopters work in water. Ooh, flying around. Oof. It's just so hard to like pick a direction and go. I'm gonna try and fly back towards the helipad, if at all possible. So we're just gonna point ourselves somewhat in that direction and hope for the best. It's more like a rocket actually than a helicopter. It's more of just like point yourself in the direction you want to go, and then just hope that you go that direction. Alright, so it's over there. Nope, I'm going backwards now. Oof. It's always the worst when you crash into the ground, because it's just so hard to see anything. Oh, we're going underwater now. Come on, upright. I noticed that the blades don't do anything when you're underwater. Oh, we got caught. We got caught. Oof. We're freaking out. We are freaking out. Okay. Let's get out and unstick ourselves. Okay. We have just a very short distance to go before we reach the helichopper. So let's... Or the helichopper pad. Let's go up. Cut engines. Drift over. Oof. Crash land. I cannot tell what our angle is. Okay, so we're stuck on our side. Let's go up so that we're upright. Where are we now? Oh, we don't want to go in the hole. Do not go in the hole. Oop, over. Oop. Oh, we're so close. We're so close. We just literally need to go up and over some. I think we're upside down. Whoop. Oh, okay. The helichopper pad is off to the side here. Ugh. Ugh. Go, 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 go. I can't see. Oh, we're right there. No, we were right there. Alright, we're gonna make this, guys. This is gonna be the finale. You're all gonna be super impressed with my helichopper. Oh. Come on. Just drag your butt onto the pad. And then upright. Huzzah! We're back on the pad. Look at that. Look at that. You guys are all so super impressed because I made a functioning helichopper. We flew all the way over to there. We were at that pool and then we came back. Not the best helicopter, but I like it. I will see you guys next time.